Hey, Good Fox here. Today we're going to go through my proposed wide receiver ratings in Madden 16. The sponsor today are wide receiver. My mouth on Thanksgiving. So, EA has shown some ratings already at E3. I incorporated them that we've seen so far into my ratings, but I'm not sure that those are final for MUT because we saw them in the Draft Champions mode. So we'll start off with last year's wide receivers. Kelvin Johnson was the top spot with 90. Brandon Marshall, Andre Johnson, and on down to, we're going to go through the 82s we're going to stop at with wide receivers. So you could take a brief look at them on your screen. So transitioning into this year's proposed ratings, I think Kelvin Johnson's going to keep the top spot mainly because EA has already shown him to be a 90 overall. He's had a lot of injuries these last few years, but he is the most talented wide receiver of our generation. I think he stays in the top spot due to reputation. Next down, Des Bryant at 89. He was also already shown and to be that 89. I would not have put him at 89. I would have put Antonio Brown there based on the production the last couple years. But since EA has Des Bryant there, I got to keep going. And I'm doing similar ratings to what they had last year, so every rating on down is the same. Jordy Nelson, 88, I think he's going to be. EA had him at 86, but really that is too low for him. He deserves an upgrade. I don't think he's going to stick at 86. Antonio Brown, next on the list at 88. Like I said before, he should be the highest based on results, but since EA already showed us a 90 and 89, he's the next one on the list at 88. Julio Jones, the next 88. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. He had 1,500 yards, and I'm going to upgrade him 2 points from last year. Odell Beckham Jr., the cover athlete. He'll have a 99 overall to start the game, probably in some sort of master set. But I'm going to give him an 87 for his base. He takes a huge jump from last year, similar to his skills on the field. He started at 70 overall. Him and some of the success of the rookie wide receivers this last year is the reason I think this year's class will be rated high. I'm going to go through the rookie wide receivers at the end of the video, so hang on once I run through this list. Next, 87 overall is Demaryius Thomas. I'm giving him the same rating as last year. He had a perfectly cromulent year. I'm just kidding. He had an amazing year. Over 1,600 yards. Also tied for the league lead with Antonio Brown in targets. Randall Cobb at 87 also. 72% catch rate last year was amazing. He's going to be the perfect slot guy in Madden. 86 AJ Green. Suffered some injuries like Kelvin. But EA has already shown him to be an 86 next year, so I'm going to go with that. On talent alone, he deserves to be higher, but production is a lot of what MUT is rated on. Brandon Marshall, 86 also. He's going to be an amazing blocker like every other year. He did have a down year last year with Cutler, but we'll see how he does on the Jets this upcoming season. ALSHON Jefferies next, his partner last year on the Bears. He's also going to be a great blocker and will be a stud outside at 6'4". in the first opening month of MUT. Emmanuel Sanders, going to be a great slot guy. Be short but can catch things and move with the ball, get a little wiggle. T.Y. Hilton at 85 is next. He's a speed demon. He's a great card to outrun the defense next year. He won't be as good as, Brashad Perriman, who we'll get to a little later, but he is still quite speedy. Jeremy Maclin at 84. He'll be solid all-around guy. Nothing too spectacular to stand out. But interesting enough, when I was doing research on this, I saw he had 7 interceptions when thrown at last year. He led the league, not in a good way, of course, in that stat. DeAndre Hopkins, he was tied for second with 6 interceptions when he was thrown at. But there's something, whenever I saw DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know, I always thought that he was tall for some reason, but he's really not. I always thought he was like 6'4", but he's only 6'1". Anyways, side note, he has over 1,200 yards receiving last year. Not a great blocker at all. Deshaun Jackson is next. Best yak guy per reception last year. He will be speedy again in the game. I do not believe I downgraded him at all last year. No, he had 84 also last year. Mike Evans, great blocker, tall, 6'5", but bad after the catch. A lot of those tall guys, him, Vincent Jackson, don't have much. They catch the ball and they get tackled right away. Not much yak out of those taller guys that aren't very fast. So Anquan Bolden, 83, great blocker. Basically will be his biggest strength. He'll be amazing for a run-first team. Golden Tate, 1,300 yards receiving last year, but a terrible blocker. So I gave him an 83. Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best receivers of our generation, will be an 82 next year. He's kind of getting over the hill. I mean, he didn't have a good season, but he only had one drop. So when the ball got to him, he caught it. He has sticky hands. Vincent Jackson, like I said earlier, he's a terrible yacker. He's 6'5". He had 1,000 yards last year, which is decent, but being tall, I think, will be his best attribute. Percy Harvin, 82. He had a bad year too, so I'm docking him 2 points from last year. 82, Andre Johnson. He had an absolute terrible year. His base car was 88 last year. 82, I still feel, was generous for how poorly he did. Football Outsiders had him as the second worst receiver, who caught a minimum of 50 yards or 50 passes. But he has a big name, so he is only dropping 6 points because of it. Andrew Hawkins. It's weird. Football Outsiders hate him, but they can't separate wide receiver from quarterback too well. Pro Football Focus loves this guy. Says he was the 11th best wide receiver last year. And on to my last rated one, Jarvis Landry, another up-and-comer. He was the 16th best wide receiver last year according to Pro Football Focus. Other ones that just kind of missed the cut: Martavius Bryant, who's amazing after the catch; Keenan Allen, Torrey Smith, Josh Gordon, who's suspended all of next year. I wonder what EA will rate him, or if they'll have him in the game. They probably will. Wes Welker is still a free agent. Kenny Stills, Football Outsider had him as the number 12 receiver last year, and Pro Football Focus had him as 23. I had no clue why New Orleans traded him to the Dolphins. He must have had a problem in the locker room where they wanted to, threaten Drew Brees somehow. But yeah, he was amazing last year on the Saints. Victor Cruz, Sammy Watkins. EA did show Sammy Watkins at 80 overall, so he does miss the cut for that reason. Tavon Austin, Reggie Wayne, Roddy White, Marquise Colston. EA showed him at 83, which he does not deserve. I think he's going to be under 82. He should be under 82 next year. Kelvin Benjamin, Steve Smith Sr., Malcolm Floyd all missed the cut, but Malcolm Floyd should be the best blocking wide receiver in the game in the base. So moving on to the wide receiver rookies, Amari Cooper, I think it's going to be an 81 overall next year. Based on the success all those guys had last year coming in the league, and Amari Cooper is supposed to have talent. Kevin White, I think is going to get an 80 overall, very fast and tall out of White. Devontae Parker, great. I think he'll get a 76. Rashad Perryman should be the fastest player in the game. I think he's going to take about a 75 overall. Jalen Strong, Philip Dorsett, 70, 72 in there. Dorial Green Beckham, I'll give it 72 also. He's going to be great, and I think he's going to be an amazing first number one receiver because he's going to be tall and fast. Devin Smith and Nelson Aguilar, 71 and 70. Nelson was drafted above where he was projected, so I think EA goes more on where they were scouted at than where they were drafted. So that's my ratings. Let me know what you guys think of them. Give me some feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.